Hello, olá, tudo bem? Meu nome é Edna, eu sou professora de português e eu vim aqui hoje para a nossa segunda aula de português. So, my name is Edna, I'm a Portuguese teacher and I came here today for our second lesson, right? So you can certainly find on my channel the first video of the series. Like we saw before, there will be no cuts. I would just try to continue with the lesson like as if we were in our live session. So you have a feeling pretty much of how our sessions go. Certo? Okay. Prontos? So today we're going to work with the alphabet. And as we work with the alphabet, we are not just simply going to say A, B, C. We are also going to work with their sounds, right? So I'm just preparing here my screen for the alphabets page. And because the pages are so many, right? So I'm just going to open them there. Yeah. And then I'm going to share it with you. I'm going to read them with you and you will be able to just pronounce it with me, right? Well, so let me just duplicate this thing here and then delete it there and open that for you. Let me see. Like I said before, there will be no cuts, so there is no preparation. I would do with this session like we would do in our normal session. Prontos? Então vamos lá. Vou compartilhar. Let me share the screen. Pronto. Lá está a tela, né? Então vamos ver. Primeiro, so let's just pronounce the letters first. A, A, B, B, C, C, C cedilha. So remember that C cedilha is not really an extra letter. It's a C with an accent mark, né? Então, C cedilha. C cedilha. D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Certo? Is that okay? Right, so we're gonna go back now and do it again. A, B, C, C cedilha, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Certo? If you need a repetition, go back, review, say it again as many times as you need. Certo? Correto? Okay? Right? Shall we go ahead? And now we are going to work with the alphabet and their sounds, right? So the first letter, A, has the A or a sound. So it could be nasal. When do I know how to make it nasal? I know I will make this a bit more nasal when it comes before or together with an M, an N, or it has a til, right? This symbol over here is a til. Or when you have what we call acento circunflexo, né? That little symbol that looks like a little hat, right? So we say when you have those sounds together. A is a more open sound. So it would be a abelha, abelha, a abelha. This letter here is telling me that this word is feminino. It's a feminine word. É feminino. É a abelha, not o abelha. A abelha. Tudo bem? A ambulância. Ambulância. A ambulância. B. A baleia. A baleia. So you can see that with a B, but it's nothing much too special about that sound. There's nothing extra we have to comment. With A, we do. We gotta remember that it can be an open sound, like when you open your mouth a lot more and you do A abelha. But it could be nasal. Ambulância. Certo? Ambulância. Tudo bem? It will never be A or any other sounds like you would do in English when you have an A and you pronounce it A, right? But in Portuguese, we do A or A abelha, a ambulância, certo? Vamos continuar. Let's continue. Aí nós temos o C. C could have a few different sounds. It depends on what you have next. That's why I chose here for us to make a few notes. So if you see that your C comes with A, O, or U, you're going to pronounce it like that. Tá, né? Como K, Ko, Ku. Ka as in casa, house, casa. Or coisa as in thing, coisa, coisa. Or cu, cunhada. Ou cunhado, né? That means brother-in-law. Cunhado. Ka, ko, ku. But if that letter comes with a E or with a E, then the sound will be a S, como in cebola, onion, cebola. Ou cidade, city, cidade, certo? Cidade, si. Voltando lá, ó. O caju, o céu. Again, o caju, o céu. O céu. O caju. Tudo bem? CH. O CH, CH together will make a sh, not a ch. A como o cachorro, né? If we say chuva, we would say it this way. Chuva, the rain. Chuva, rain. Chuva, chuva. Certo? Agora, quando o C vem com C cedilha, so if it's a C cedilha, the sound will always be S, como em o palhaço, o palhaço. C cedilha will always happen in the end of a word. At least so far, I don't remember ever seeing a word with C cedilha in the beginning of a word. That could be. I don't know the whole dictionary. Maybe that is, but as far as I remember, as far as I have been presented, I have never seen a word that starts with a C cedilha. Certo? So, palhaço. Não gosto de palhaços. I don't like palhaços. Vamos continuar? Let's continue. D. O D pode ser o dado, o dinheiro. So it depends on where in the country Brazilians come from. Could be from the north, northeast, south. It depends on where we were born and where we lived for a period of our lives. We might pronounce that combination of DE or DI a little bit different. I am from São Paulo. So in São Paulo, we tend to speak a bit between our teeth. So we say o dinheiro, o dinheiro, dinheiro. So speak between our teeth, dinheiro. But in the northeast, they might speak a little bit more with the tip or the tongues. So it could be dado, dinheiro, dinheiro. Tudo bem? O dado, o dinheiro. Aí o E. E pode ser fechado, ou pode ser aberto, it could be open. É o elefante, elefante. E a caneca, a caneca. If in certain words or when the E appears in the last letter of that word, like remember when we said cidade, cidade, it tends to have the sound of a E in a natural flow, everyday speech. We tend to do a E like that as well. Elefante, right? Elefante. Or it could be like here, cadeado, bronzear, campeonato, cardial, ênfase, mãe, liberdade. They all have a I sound, certo? Tudo bem? And their meanings, cadeado is like a padlock. Bronzear is what we do on the sun on a beautiful sunny day at the beach. Bronzear. Campeonato, championship. Cardial, it's religious, you know? Actually, I'm going to leave that as your homework as well. I will leave that for you to check their meanings. Go to a dictionary. Try not to translate whole sentences in a translator. Okay? Just a suggestion. Tudo bem? And we then also have the E, the open sound. So it would be a caneca. A caneca. So recapping, the sounds of E. It could be o elefante, elefante, a closed sound, elefante. It could be an open sound, and we open your mouth a little bit more. It could be a caneca, a caneca. It could also be a E there, like when you have in the middle of there, like with those vowels, you see that there are two vowels there, or in the end of the words, you will see I. Cadeado, ênfase, liberdade. Okay, so I'm gonna pronounce them one more time for you. Cadeado, bronzear, campeonato, cardial, ênfase, mãe e liberdade. Tudo bem? Vamos continuar? A few more. F. Nothing special about the sound. Is a simple. Então, a formiga. A formiga. G. O gato. O gato. So if we have letra G, so the letter G with A, O, and U, we do the g, né? Como em gato, ou gostar, or even in the name, Gustavo, né? Gustavo. We don't tend to pronounce that U when the GU comes with E or E. Like when we say guerra, guerra, war, guerra. Or in their boy's name, Guilherme, Guilherme. We don't say that, but we may pronounce it when it is combined with an A, like in one of our Brazilian's best soft drinks, Guaraná. Well, in the fruit, obviously. Guaraná. Guaraná. Yeah. The word, yeah, Guaraná. I was gonna say another word, but I think we are good for example so far. Certo? Right. So with ga, G-A, ga, gato. But when we have that combination with G-E or G-E, we do the J kind of sound. Now let's just put a J like that. Like in gente. Gente, as in people. Gente. Or gigante, a giant. Gigante. You see how we have both sounds there? Gigante. Gigante. Recapping. Then F, a formiga. G, o gato. Ou a girafa. Tudo bem até aqui? So far, so good? Sim? Vamos continuar? Shall we continue? Let's do this more page. Then we might stop and wait for you to come and book a session with us. Tudo bem? Let's do a few more then. Letra H. So this letter we call H. And you see that that letter has no sound. So if you put that H with an A, O, I, O, you will pronounce that vowel, not the H. Like here we have O hipopótamo. O hipopótamo. Certo? So how do you think we should pronounce the word? Hotel. Hotel. Certo? Deixa eu ver uma outra palavra com H. Let me see another word with H. How about helicóptero? Helicóptero. Certo? Or hidrante. Hidrante. Tudo bem com essas palavras? Everything okay with these words? Yeah? Okay. Vamos lá. So remember, no sound. E, nothing special. Here I have to apologize. We should actually call them indigenous. Indigenous, not Indio. Indigenous. We should make a change there. Indigenous. Yeah. Let me add a little note there, shall we? Where is it? There. I'm going to add a little box. And I'm gonna put it right there on top. See there. And I'm gonna put it in indigena. Indigena is the most appropriate word for that. For those people. Certo? For them, they are indigenous. So indigena, indigena. As you can see, there is no other sound for this vowel. It's only E. It will never be pronounced I em português. Indígena. Tudo bem? Continuando. Let's continue. J. O jacaré. O jacaré. So different from Spanish, for example. In Spanish, usually when you have that letter, you would say or jota. It's a jota, né? Like that word, that name. We wouldn't say Jose. No. We say José. José. And that girl's name would be Jessica. Jessica. Diferente, né? A little bit different, maybe. Tudo bem até aqui? All right. Let's go on then. And then we have K. In Brazilian, well, in not only Brazilian, but in Portuguese in general, we don't have any words with A, W, or Y. These words were just added to our language after the agreement that was signed by the Portuguese speaking languages there by the end of the 90s. Yeah, so we don't have any words in Portuguese with them. We borrow, we bring from other cultures, from other languages. So that word you can pronounce your way in English pronunciation, maybe like o kiwi, something like that. Tudo bem? Do just one more page, shall we? One more page, otherwise the video is going to be really long. And I invite you to come and study with us at Edna Languages. Tudo bem? Vamos lá. There. Let's just see these 3 more words and then we can close for today and maybe continue some other time. Tudo bem? Here we go. L. O livro. O livro. Livro. Nothing special, simple. Certo? However, when you have an L right there in the middle, right at the end of a word, I would recommend you not to exaggerate in that pronunciation of that L. So we don't tend to do like polvo. No, we would do polvo, polvo. The tongue goes a little bit open, a little bit high, but we don't over pronounce it. Polvo. It almost sounds like a U, as if I was saying polvo, 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 né? Polvo, certo? That includes, like I said before, words that end with L. Let's think about the word easy, for example. We say fácil, fácil. See how it almost sounds like it's a U? Fácil. Tudo bem? Yeah, so never fácil or polvo. Certo? LH. LH. LH has a L sound. So a folha. A folha. Tudo bem? Right, so now I am just going to skip to one more because I want us to have a look at that before we can end. You can see that we have a whole full course there. But today we are focusing on a few letters of our alphabet. So I'm going to, you know what? I'm not going to skip. We're going to see them all. I'm just going to try to summarize a little bit of our explanation. Tudo bem? So let's go to M. M. A maçã. A maçã. Simples. A maçã. Maçã. And we say maçã, not massa, because massa means pasta. Né? For example, espaguete é uma massa. Né? É uma massa. Massa. Pasta. Massa. Sim. Sim. Can you see how we don't actually close our lips when we end with an M? We say it almost as if it was an N. Sim, sim. Tudo bem? O navio, simples. Navio, navio. But when we have an NH combination, we do nha, nha, just like the sound of ing in English. Nha. But the difference is that you are adding a vowel in the end. A aranha. A aranha. So how would you call that fish you find in Amazon rivers? You can say piranha. Piranha. It's also a bit of a naughty word. Oops. Anyway, let's not talk about that right now, shall we? Next. O or O. A onça, o sol. Selo, carro. Can you see how it has three different sounds? You could be closed, onça. It could be open, o sol. Or it could sound like a U. Selo, selo. Carro. P. A pipa. A pipa. So it's simple P, right? Pipa has different names, different depending on where you are in the country. But most of the country will recognize it as pipa or papagaio. Certo? Next. Que. O queijo. O queijo. O quadrado. Remember when we said before about that combination of GU when you pronounce and when you don't? It applies for QU as well. Queijo, quadrado. R, o rato, as cartas. So our R could have a sound, it's like a H in English. Rato. So you will usually sound like a when you start with an R, when you have it double, like in carro. Né? Let me show you. Carro. 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 Is the vehicle. Carro. But if you have that one single R, caro, caro, it means expensive. Caro. So imagine I have an expensive car. Eu tenho carro caro. Eu tenho carro caro. Tudo bem? Carro caro. So if you have just one R, car, you can do cartas or you can do cartas. Ambas estão corretas, both are okay. Cartas. Próxima. All right, so we have a few examples there. Have a look at them. Practice them aloud. Pronto. Próxima. S, o sapo. A mesa. So it could be a S or a Z. Sorry, I'm going a little bit faster because I need you closer. Okay? Sorry. In the full sessions, we are definitely not going to rush that. All right. I am from São Paulo, so I don't pronounce it this way, but it is common in Rio de Janeiro for people to do a sh in the end when we have that S there. So they would say lápis, lápis. But in São Paulo, I say lápis, lápis. Certo? E continuando, T, a tartaruga. Simples. U, a uva. You see how it is U, never you, never a. Sempre U, U. Just like a double O in English, you know? U, a uva. Uva. V, a vaca. Remember when I said that we didn't have W, Y, or K in Portuguese? So obviously that's not Portuguese, certo? A web. A web. Continuando, so X. X has different sounds. It could be xadrez, táxi, exercício, Pode também ser um pouco mais longe, como em excelente, exterior, máximo, próximo. Book a session with me and I would tell you with more details when they happen in different ways in which situation. Certo? Tudo bem? Próxima. Vamos lá. Nearly there. Nearly there. Vamos lá. Y. We don't have Portuguese there, remember? So, yakisoba. Yakisoba. E Z. A zebra. Z. A zebra. Tudo bem até aí? Certo? Então, espero que vocês tenham gostado. I hope you guys enjoyed that little presentation just to give you an idea of what we can discuss when we see the alphabet as well. Tudo bem? Certo? Então, if you have questions and if you wish to see a little bit more, feel free to book a session. Certo? And you can find more information about those resources that you can download as well and book sessions on ednaallenlanguage.net. Link will be below. Tudo bem? Obrigada. Thank you. Obrigada. E até mais. Tchau, tchau.